If your sum across multiple sheets is giving the wrong total or a Nasher value error, you're usually not dealing with bad math. You're dealing with how Excel reads 3D references. In this video, you'll learn the fastest way to sum the same cell or range across many tabs, and how to make it reliable when sheets get added, renamed, or copied. We'll start with the core pattern, like summing B2 across a block of monthly sheets. Then we'll tackle the common failure points: text numbers, merge cells, hidden sheets, and inconsistent layouts. I'll also show you how Excel decides which sheets are included in a 3D reference, because that one detail explains most mystery totals.
And we'll cover safer alternatives, like using SUMIF with a list of sheet names, or Power Query when the workbook gets messy. By the end, you'll be able to diagnose the issue in under a minute and build a total that stays correct as your workbook grows.
Next step. Let's define the basic tool. A 3D reference is a reference that spans sheets. The classic example is equals sum Jan Dec B2. That means take cell B2 from every sheet, starting at Jan and ending at Dec, and add them up. The key is that Excel doesn't look for month names. It looks for the physical order of the tabs. So if your tabs are Jan, Feb, Mar, and you insert a new sheet between Mar and April, that new sheet is now included if it sits inside the Jan to Dec block. Another important detail is that a 3D reference expects the same shape on every sheet. If you sum B2, every sheet must have a B2 that represents the same thing. If one sheet uses B2 for a label or a different metric, your total becomes meaningless, even if Excel returns a number. So 3D sum is powerful, but it's strict about structure and sheet boundaries. Next step. Now let's handle the most common confusion. Which sheets are actually being summed? In a 3D reference, Excel includes every visible or hidden sheet between the start and end tabs, based on position. That means if you move a tab, your total can change without touching the formula. If you rename a tab, the formula updates, but the included block stays the same because the endpoints are still those sheets. If you insert a new sheet inside the block, it gets included automatically. If you insert it outside, it won't. This is why many people create two bookend sheets, like start and end, that contain no data. Then the formula becomes equals sum start to end B2. Any new monthly sheet dropped between start and end is included by design. This one habit prevents accidental omissions and makes your workbook easier to maintain. It also makes auditing simple because you can just check what sits between the bookends. Next step. Let's talk about the error you'll see the most: value from a 3D sum. This usually happens when at least one reference cell isn't a normal number. The biggest culprit is numbers stored as text. It can look like 1200, but Excel treats it like a word. Another cause is a cell returning an error, like NA or div0, inside one of the sheets. Some will propagate errors, so one bad sheet can poison the whole total. Less common but real is when you're summing a range and one sheet has a merged cell that breaks the range shape. The fix approach is simple. First, test a single sheet cell, like is numbered Jan B2. Then copy that test across a few sheets. Second, wrap the 3D reference with error handling when appropriate, like is sum if error start to end B2. That won't fix the source, but it keeps totals stable while you clean up. Next step. Next issue. The total is a number, but it's wrong. That's more dangerous than an error, because it looks fine. The usual reason is inconsistent layout. Maybe most sheets have revenue in B2, but one sheet has revenue in B3 because someone inserted a row. Your 3D sum still adds B2, but now B2 might be blank or a different value. Another reason is accidental extra sheets included in the block, like a notes sheet or an old backup tab sitting between your bookends. Also watch out for subtotals. If each sheet already contains a subtotal in B2 and your summary sheet sums those subtotals, that's fine. But if the sheet subtotal itself includes other summary references, you can create double counting. The practical fix is to standardize the template, lock structure where possible, and keep non-month sheets outside the 3D block. When totals matter, add a quick cross-check, like summing a known constant cell across sheets to confirm inclusion. Next step. Let's make your 3D sum more robust with a clean workbook pattern. Create two empty tabs named something like Start and End. Put them at the far left and far right of the group you want to total. Then put every monthly or weekly sheet between them. Now your formula is stable. Equals sum_start.end B2. When you create a new period sheet, you copy an existing template and drop it between the bookends. Excel includes it automatically. If you have different categories, you can use multiple bookend pairs like sales start to sales end and ops start to ops end, but keep it simple. Also, keep the cell you're summing consistent. If B2 is total revenue, make sure it stays that way across every template. This approach reduces maintenance, prevents missing sheets, and makes it obvious where new tabs should go. It's the simplest way to avoid silent errors over time. Next step. Sometimes you need to sum a range across sheets, not just one cell. The pattern is the same. Equals sum Jan Dec B2 B20. Excel will add each corresponding cell across all included sheets, then total the result. This is great for a standardized table, like expenses by line item, but it's also where layout problems show up. If one sheet has extra rows or a merged cell inside that range, Excel can return incorrect results or errors. A safer method is to sum a single total cell per sheet, where each sheet calculates its own subtotal using local references. Then your 3D sum only touches one cell per sheet, like B21. That reduces the chance of range shape issues. Also, be careful with blank cells. Blanks are fine, but blanks caused by broken formulas are not. If you're building templates, protect the table structure and avoid merges inside the data range you plan to aggregate. Next step. Now let's cover a limitation. 3D references don't play nicely with every function. Sum works well, but once you need conditions, like sum only sheets marked approved, a plain 3D sum can't filter sheets. That's when you switch strategies. One option is to keep a control table on a summary sheet, a list of sheet names plus a flag like include yes or no. Then you can use INDIRECT to build references dynamically, for example, summing each sheet's total cell and adding them up. The trade-off is that INDIRECT is volatile, meaning it recalculates often and can slow large workbooks. Another option is Power Query, which is built for combining many similar tables, and it can filter and transform before summing. If you're staying formula only, a helper column that pulls each sheet's total into one list can be easier to audit than a single giant formula. The main idea is use 3D sum for simple, consistent rollups and switch tools when you need logic. Next step. Let's talk through a practical troubleshooting checklist you can run in under a minute. First, confirm the endpoints. Are your start and end tabs correct and in the right order? Second, count the included sheets by temporarily moving a test tab in and out of the block and watching whether the total changes. Third, validate the data type. Pick the reference cell and check whether it's a number on several sheets. Fourth, search for errors in that cell across the sheet group because one HNA can break everything. Fifth, confirm layout consistency. Does the metric you want live in the exact same cell on every sheet? If not, fix the template. Don't patch the summary. Finally, if you must keep working while cleaning, use if error to avoid a broken dashboard, but treat it as a temporary safety net. This checklist turns a vague Excel is wrong situation into a specific cause you can fix. Next step. A few advanced gotchas are worth knowing. Hidden sheets are included in a 3D reference, so if you hide an old month but leave it between your bookends, it still counts. Very hidden sheets can count too, depending on how they're positioned. External links are another one. If your 3D reference points to a closed workbook, results can become harder to audit, and broken links can cause unexpected prompts or errors. Also, be cautious with circular references. If a monthly sheet subtotal cell refers back to the summary sheet that's summing it, you can create a loop that produces unstable results. The clean design is one-directional. Detail sheets calculate their own totals, and the summary only reads them. Lastly, protect your template. If multiple people edit the workbook, consider locking the structure, or at least protecting the key subtotal cells, so your 3D totals don't drift over time. These aren't everyday problems, but when they hit, they waste hours unless you recognize them quickly. Next step. Let's wrap it up with a simple rule set you can reuse. Use a 3D sum when every sheet is the same template. You want the same cell or range, and you're happy to include everything between two endpoints. Use bookend tabs to control inclusion. If you get Nash value, assume text numbers or a sheet-level error first, and test with IS number and if error. If you get a plausible but wrong number, Assume a layout shift or an extra tab included in the block. And if you need conditions, like including only certain sheets, move away from pure 3D references and use a controlled sheet list or Power Query for a more scalable approach. If you want one action to take immediately, it's this. Create _start and _end tabs and rebuild your rollup around them. That single change prevents most long-term errors. If this helped, subscribe for more Excel workflows that stay stable as your files grow. And in the comments, which do you use more for rollups, 3D references, or Power Query? Small tweaks compound into massive performance gains. Subscribe to catch the next workflow optimization.